Yeah, if you've never been to Himley before, I'm showing a walk down now, down the grass. I'll give you I think it's a massive place. Massive place. Publicly run, publicly owned. I'm owned and operated by the council. You can bring your dogs here to play. You can bring kids to play. There's a boating lake where the boats go. There's a fishing lake where you can fish. Yeah, in fact, I think there's a couple of fishing lakes you can still fish here. Certain times of the year, keep a check on their website. Sometimes here they have Forces Day, they have car shows, classic cars, mini show, and among other things, and loads of other days, wedding shows, all sorts they have going on here. Every time they have an antique show going, that's sometimes up in the main hall. But yeah, it's on the whole, a massive place with loads of things on. It's free to come, free to enter in. There's a charge of parking on the car park. I'm not sure what it is, same as most people. It's free if you're disabled, you've got a blue badge to park. But yeah, there's an abundance of things that happen here. They're massive. I'll give you a 360 from where I am, of this half of the park. So from where I'm stood at the moment, it's just the side adjacent to where the pool is. This is the 360 we've got. The boats are over there. The lake's just off to the side there, where you can see their cars. Coming round. The lake follows up behind them trees. On the way round. And that's back to where we started. So that's this half of the venue. And then once we get up past the next section up, you've got the hall itself. The car parks that are out of bounds at the moment because haven't worked on. And so much more. I'll see if I can get down far enough to get a shot of the hall for you. So there's the hall. I've wandered down and farther through the trees and stuff. I'm trying not to get too close to where the prom section is because I can see up in the distance they're having a few photographs done. I don't want to impose on their special day. Yeah, so just having a look to see if I can see any decent cars. Well done, but yeah, there's the hall. I'll zoom in a little bit for you if I can. There you go. Currently got fencing round it. So obviously them doing some work on the greens and stuff on there. There's a bowling green and everything else on there. Yeah, there it is. That's good. Yeah. And just for any of you historian buffs or history buffs out there that are intrigued to know, the whole of the grounds that you can see around me, the pools, everything, were all designed by Capability Brown and put in place. So Capability Brown obviously was famous for lots of gardens and places around the country. Yeah, so he made a lot of famous landscapes around the world. Blenheim Palace was one he done. Warwick Castle, also one of his. Milton Abbey, to name but a few. Yeah, so they were all done in the 1700s during his lifetime. So it's nice to think that almost 400 years on these places still exist, and they've turned out. I mean, if you imagine when he first designed this and planted it out and established the trees in place, and you can imagine how it must have looked, and now you can see what it's grown into. Just a pity he was never lived around now, so we could see everything that he'd done and what it's come to, the fruition of it all. I'm sure he'd be very impressed and very proud of himself. But yeah, there's places he's done all around the country. There's even in Kew Gardens, there's little traces of bits of Capability Brown. So he's a very famous architect, landscape architect, back in the 1700s. I think he died about 1783. I think it was something like that. So obviously everything that you see of his was in that period. He was born early 1700s, 1720 something. So you're looking at a 40-year period where he designed so many different places, 117 total, I do believe, around the country. So yeah, very, very famous. A lot of history, not just in the thing, not just in the main house, but obviously in the grounds as well. Lots and lots of history. I mean, the hall itself has laid claim to royals back in the 1700s and 1800s, using it as a stop-off point between venues. Obviously, like back in the day, then everywhere was travelled by horse and cart. Obviously, what we do as a journey now that can take us an hour or 2 hours, that was probably a 2 or 3 day journey by horse and cart. And as a royal, that's a long distance to travel without breaks. So obviously this was used by royals who stopped off at here and spent the night or a couple of nights here resting and recuperating before continuing their journey. So yeah, it's there's a lot of history at Himley, a lot of history.